uh, at least we still have a few sessions before you guys write. So we will have another few sessions um, on Wednesday, and then also next week, Monday and Tuesday, before you guys write on the Thursday. Okay, so after this, still 3 sessions that we will have. Okay, so looking at the exam prep, let me get to the portion that we want to get to. So again, just previous exam papers. Again, please, if you have any questions that you want to, that you want us to work through, please send it, so that we can work through any of the questions that you might have had problems with, so that we just make 100% sure that we cover everything. Also, please, if there is a exam paper under additional resources or something like that, please share that with me as well. Like in the BNU, it might be good if we also work through one of those examples. So if I have a paper that is shared under additional resources, please share that with me. Okay, so let's start. So question is to solve the equation. So we basically sit, and let's just rewrite the equation. 2 times x minus 1 divided by 4 minus 2x divided by 3. And that is equal to 4 minus 3x divided by 12. Okay, so what we see out of this is that we need to first get a lowest common multiple for it. But before we do that, let's first just multiply in by the 2, so that when we do that, we don't get confused with what they also ask us. So if I multiply in by 2, 2x minus 2 over 4 minus 2x over 3 equal to 4 minus 3x over 12. Okay, so now lowest common multiple, I've got a 4, got a 3, got a 12. So 4 can go into 12, 3 can go into 12, 12 can go into 12. So I will multiply all of them, make sure multiply by 12. So we get 12 2x minus 2 divided by 4. 12 2x divided by 3. And that is equal to 12 times 4 minus 3x divided by 12. Okay, so what we then have here, we can simplify. 4 goes into 4 ones. 4 goes into 12 3 times. 3 goes into 3 ones. 3 goes into 12 4 times. And 12 goes into 12. Okay, so what we are left with is 3 times 2x minus 2 minus 4 times 2x, and that is equal to 4 minus 3x. And when we simplify another step, 6x minus 6 minus 8x equal to 4 minus 3x. Get all the x's to the left. So 6x minus 2x, oh, sorry, 6x minus 8x is minus 2x. That comes over, so we sit with x on the left-hand side. Minus 6 goes to the right, will become positives. Positive, so minus 6 will become positive 6. So 6 plus 4 is 10. Then we'll see x is equal to 10. Okay, so we took now a long process, but I just wanted to make sure in the process when we simplify and multiply out and get rid of the lowest common multiple, that when we get back, we get to the same answer. Okay, so let's see what the next question. Okay, so now we have a bit of inequalities with a bit of linear programming. So Tobiso and I assume Mamete run a company that manufactures 2 types of gifts, type 1, type 2. To manufacture type 1 gift requires 2 minutes. On machine A and 1 minute on machine B. A type 2 gift requires 1 minute on machine A and 3 minutes on machine B. There are 3 hours available on machine A. Okay, so that was A and that was B. So I'm going to change that now. 3 minutes. Oh, sorry, there are 3 hours available on machine A, and there was 5 hours available on machine B. Let X be the number of type 1 gifts. Type 1. Let Y be the number of type 2. Okay, so first I made a simple mistake. 2 minutes, 1 minute, 1 minute, 3 minutes, so that's fine. but 3 hours is not free. 3 hours must be 180. 5 hours is not 5. That must be 300. Okay, so by a simple mistake of not converting minutes into hours, I would have been wrong, or converting hours into minutes. So my first one is 2x plus y is smaller or equal to 180. My second formula is x plus 3x plus 3y smaller or equal to 300. And very normally we can't produce a negative item, so x and y is normally bigger than 0. Okay, so let's check. 2x plus y smaller or equal to 180. 2x plus y 300, so it's not that one. X plus 2y, not that one. X plus 2y, not that one. X plus 3y, bam. Okay, all the others still wrong. And then x and y bigger than 0. Okay, so option 1 was the correct one. Okay, so very easily one can make the mistake of not reading it right, where I misread the minutes and the hours, and by that basically one can then get it that you do the wrong thing. Luckily, they did not have the option if I misread it as 3 hours and 5 hours. That's why I was nearly okay, but what did I do wrong? But they will definitely in your exam have one of those where they will give you the option as how I now made the mistake, that you might be able to make that mistake as well. So just be careful when you're reading it, that you read it and don't misread the minute and the hours. Okay, let's get into the next one. So bit different. Um, so you guys did summation. Now let's tell us evaluate when k is equal to 2, k in brackets, k plus 1 over 2. We must do the sum of that up until 9. Okay, so what we need to do is to say two plus 1 divided by 2, then for k3, k4, k5, k6. Let me just okay, so I wonder if there's a shortcut to this. I don't think so. 7 plus 1. 8 plus 1. See if I would have maybe used Excel just to see if I can make it. So I would have just for this one made it that's definitely not right because I forgot to multiply with the other one. So the formula is that and one can obviously do it on your calculator as well, where you will multiply it out every time. And 164 and shook. 164, 65, 66, 67. So that is also very close to one another. I will share the Excel, but what you basically needed to do was for that first one, it would have been 3. For this one, it would have been 3 times 4 divided by 2 is 6. 2 goes in there, 2 goes in there twice. So 2 times 5 is 10. 5 plus 5 times 6 is 50. 60 divided, 50 divided by 2 is 15. 2 goes in there, 2 goes in there, 3. 3 times 7 is 21. 7 times 8 is, what is it? 65, I think. 65 divided by 2 is plus 28. 2 goes in there, 2 goes in there 4 times. 4 times 9 is 36. 9 times 10 is 90, divided by 4 is 45. Oh, divided by 2, sorry. So let's just check my numbers. Was 3, 6, 10, 15, 21, 28, 36, 45. Okay, so we do get the same number set. I will share that Excel with you. Yeah, and it's very close. So it's not even that one can really do a guess of this. I would probably, yeah, there's no, I can't see really a shortcut in this. I don't have a calculator that can do any of those programming. So, or you need to work it out per each one, or somehow you use one of the Excel functions. Okay, simultaneous equations. So they want us to solve these two equations. So there's a few ways that you can do it. So you can, some of your calculators, you can put in the two formulas, you can work it out. You can work it out to say, but let's get that all the, you multiply something out and then you subtract the two. So another way is to say that I've got x at here, so all that I'm going to do is just going to write it a bit to say, okay, that x is equal to 10 minus 2y. So all that I did was I brought over the 2y to the right-hand side. Now I have a value for x, so I can substitute in that formula, I can substitute x. So I have 10 minus 2y plus y is equal to 14. So 2 times 10 is 20. 2 times minus 2y is minus 4y. Plus y equal to 14. Minus y plus y is minus 3y. Plus 20 goes to the right-hand side, so it becomes minus 20. So 14 minus 20 is minus 6. So y is equal to 2. And so there's y is equal to 2. All the others wrong. But then what we do as well, just to make sure, we put in the formula y is equal to 2. So x is equal to 10 minus 4, which is equal to 6. X is equal to 6. And so that is one way we could have done it. Let me duplicate the slide and just show another way we could have done it. So another way that we could have done this is to say, well, I know I normally want to say the first equation minus the second one, and then hopefully get an answer. So I've got 2x, so at the top I'm going to multiply everything out by 2. I've got 2x, so this will change to 4, and that will change to 20. And so x becomes 2x, 2y becomes 4y, 10 becomes 20. So now I can say, well, the second one subtracted from the first one. So 2x minus 2x is 0. 4y minus y is 3y. Just remember that's not there. 20 minus 14 is 6. Y is equal to 2. And then we substitute that in any one, and you will again get the same answer. Okay, so it doesn't matter if you do it the way we would have done it, nearly looking at your linear lines, and if you want to look at that one, or if you want to say, but let's multiply one out, want to subtract the one from the other one, you will get exactly the same answer. Okay, let's look at the next one. Next one, we're looking at nonlinear function or parabola. They give us the function. So let me quickly duplicate. Let me just make this bigger. So that we can see this. Okay. So linear equation of y is equal to x to the power of 2 minus 2x minus 3. They ask us determine the coordinates of point A. Okay, so they want us to determine what is the coordinates of the turning point. Okay, so we can get the x value of that turning point will be minus b over 2a. Let me just make a note for myself that I must send you guys a formula page for this study. So I will create a formula page for you guys and send it for you so that you can use it for the exam. Remember, exam is open book, so but I will send you a formula page. So let's look at minus b is minus 2, so it is minus 2 over 2a. A is 1. So we've got minus 2 is positive 2 divided by 2 equal to 1. So our x point is 1. Okay, we're going to work out what the y is now, but you can see if that is minus 3, this needs to be smaller than minus 3. So minus 4 can be, minus 5 couldn't have been that one. But yes, we know already what x is, so know that answer. But let's put in, so to work out what the y is, we can just put it back into the original formula. The original formula, 1 to the power of 2 is 1. Minus 2 times 1 is minus 2, minus 3. So 1 minus 2 minus 3 is equal to minus 4, which would have given us that turning point, in any case, point A. Okay, so, but yeah, I will create a formula page for you guys, so that it is just easier. Okay, so they want us now to determine, again, let's just quickly do something about this that we can just make it easier to see. Okay, so let's that. And we need to do. Okay. Determine the coordinates of point C and D. Okay, so to work out those coordinates, we basically need to factorize this formula because we know that those two values will be where y is equal to 0. Okay, so to get to that, we will need to factorize. We could also have used, there is, what is this formula? Plus minus b, what, sorry, not plus minus b. I think it's something like under 2a, but it is definitely not plus minus b, something different in front. So you guys can also see, I definitely don't remember my formulas. There's always a formula page that one can use. So let's quickly see if we can't just quickly Google.
Sorry.
Yes.
I think the one that you're looking for is a quadratic formula. It's b plus minus and then the square root of b squared.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. And it's divided by 2a, I think, eh?
Yes, there's minus before the b. It's
Ah,
actually minus. Yeah.
minus b plus minus under the square root b to the power of 2 minus 4ac divided by 2a. Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we could have used that, but if you look at the numbers, it's whole numbers. So then that tells me that with factorization, I will get those numbers. If those numbers were something like 2,41 with 0, then I would have used this to work out the roots. Okay, so then I would have used this formula, but because it looks like very nice whole numbers, I think I will be able to factorize this. So, and the only thing we can factorize a 3 is by 3 and 1. So the negative 2 tells me that the negative will be the closest to the 3. Positive, so let's just also just make 100% sure. X times x will give you that. Minus 3x plus x gives me the minus 2x, and that times that would have given me minus 3. So x is equal to 3, so that would be 3 and 0. And then or x is equal to minus 1, so the c will be minus 1 and 0. And so c1 minus 1, 0, not 4 and 0, not -3, -1 and 0, 3 and 0. So your answer for question 17 would have been option 3. Okay, so again, very easily in the exam, when you see that first one, you think, ah, awesome, option 1, but just check more carefully what is your other point as well that they give you, that you just don't quickly pick it and then you have it wrong in the exam. Okay, so just take a bit of time when you guys do this. Okay, so that was one question where they nearly asked us turning point and the two roots. Okay, so now they go into a bit of stats questions. So let me just do a few duplications of this that we can actually be able to look at the data and then the question. Okay, let's see what they ask. Okay, so here they give us data of Mondays to Sundays about somebody making bread and the weight of the bread. So the question is, determine the mean mass of loaves for Thursday. Okay, so they won't ask you to work out the mean for everything. That is just way too many points to work out. Yeah, for Thursday it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So to ask you to work out the mean is not a problem, because it's adding all those numbers of a Thursday and then divide by 10. So I've started, so I'm now at 791.1. I hope I get all the answers and I don't make a mistake with the calculation, because again, very easy just to make a simple mistake with something like this, and then you have a wrong answer. And I will probably again just check it with Excel. So I got the sum is 8034.4. If I divide by 10, I get 803.44 grams. Okay, so which would have been option 2. But basically add all of them. That's the formula divided by n to give you the average. Okay, so let's just see. I would have said, let's do it Thursday. So it was 807.4, 9.7, 809.3, because again, if I now ask me to work out standard deviation or something like that, this does become a very long question, which I then would have used Excel for. Again, I will share the Excel on our WhatsApp group. And then for the guys not on the WhatsApp group yet, let me just quickly check and just add the WhatsApp number in the chat. So if you're not part of a WhatsApp group yet, please, you can join the WhatsApp group. So let's see, where were we? 8079, 809, 7982, 77, 790.7, 801.8, 789.2, and then 826. Okay, so if we then worked out the mean of that, would have been just the average. And we would have gotten the 803.44. Okay, so if you added it up, divided by 10, worked with a calculator, you will get exactly the same answer. Okay, but now they ask us it a bit differently. So now they ask us for the Tuesday. What is the median? Okay, so again, Tuesday median, so let's just at least crop this part out. So Tuesday median. So now still you would have needed to arrange it from smallest to maximum, and then you need to work out the medians. So still not too bad. Um, it is possible to do it by hand. And while if one of you is doing it, I'm just quickly going to look at the Excel component. Then at least you guys also have something that you allowed to use. Again, remember you are writing open book. So what you're not allowed to use is cell phone or speaking to somebody else, but else you're allowed to use other notes, notes on your laptop and anything that's printed. So you are allowed to use it. Let's quickly check. Median would have been 791 or 796.1, 796. So let's quickly check if we. Okay, that is a bit. I don't like it that they have it so close to one another. That's a bit unfair, to be honest. But yeah, 796.10. So the option is the option 4. So, I really don't like it that they have numbers that are this close to one another. Yeah, not great. Even the other two is also close to one another. So really not the nicest to have so close to one another. Okay, and then the last one, determine the standard deviation of masses of loaf given that the mean mass for Sunday. Huh. Okay, so this is quite nice. They actually don't need you to work out all the numbers, because they tell you there is the mean mass for Sunday. Oh no, but they only give you the mean mass. They don't tell you the sum of. Oh, that doesn't help a lot. So you still need to. Okay, sorry. I thought they gave us all the other information. So they did not. So let's just quickly copy the data set over. Okay, so I thought they gave us the sum of the mean mass, but they didn't. So again, if there's no ways you're gonna work all of this out, because what they want you to work out now with this information given is that first point of Sunday is 799.0 minus 799.28, that to the power of 2. Then we take the next one plus 806 minus 799.28 to the power of 2, and you continue that process till the last one, and then you divide by n minus 1, because this is a sample that we're working with. So again, I would rather put those information again into my data set. So let's say that is Sunday, 799.0, 806.0, 799.4, 801, 796.7, 802.2, 807.3, 809.8, 791.2, 780. Uh-huh. Okay. And basically what we want for that is standard deviation. I think determine standard deviation, and there is a formula. This is a sample, so we take sample standard deviation, and if we round it off to 2 decimals, 8,61. Okay, so again, this, you could have done it without Excel, but then you need to say 799.0 minus then to the power of 2, sum of your scientific calculators will have the same nearly functions that can work it out. I think my HP also have something like that, but then you need to put the data in and you work it out like that. Okay, again, not something that I really like that you guys get because it is a lot of points that you need to work out. Where this was easier, the median, because you could have just ranked the data, and then to work out the mean, you just add it and divide by. Okay, so not a great one because it is a lot of data that you need to work through. Okay, so let's look at what was this question about. And again, it nearly follows on two questions. So let's see. An investor has decided to purchase shares in a stock of three companies, one engaged in aerospace activities, one involved in emergency development, and one involved in electronics. After some research, the account executive of a brokerage firm recommends that the investor considers a stock from five aerospace companies, three energy companies, and four electronic companies. In how many ways can the investor select the group of three companies from the accountant's executive list? Okay, so what we are working here with is permutations and combinations. So which one would you have gone for? Combination or permutation? I just want to pick my screen, giving me issues. Okay, so which one would you guys have gone for with this information? Combination or permutation? And the important thing is, when is it a combination and when is it a permutation? Okay, so I've got combination. Okay, so perfect. So order does not matter. So we are working with combinations. Okay, so if I wanted us to say the three, in how many ways can we investors select the group of three companies so that the electronic company is first? Yeah, so this is a bit difficult to create it in a permutation type of question, but permutation there needs to be order. Where combination is basically just in how many ways can you put this together. So on some of your calculators, you've got the formulas NPR for permutation, and some of your calculators does have NCR. Okay, so I don't like my HP at all with those. So I'm just quickly going to check if I don't have a formula in Excel as well. I just want to quickly, so that I share this with you. So let's see, combinations, permutations. Okay, so combination returns the number of combinations. Okay, so let's see. Investor has decided to purchase stock on Gage Aerosmith. After some research, the account executive of Brokerman considers stock from 5, 3, and 4. So what will, how many ways can investors select the group of 3 companies? Okay, so what would you guys have? So what is your N and what is your R? Five, 3, 4 is at 12. 20, 5, 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 12. And none of the answers, so we need to check what I did wrong there. And again, okay, so let's quickly see, what did I, okay, so how would you guys have said we do this? Okay, so I just have said 5 times. Okay, so I would have said that, but I would have said, in how many ways can we investors select a group of 3 companies from the accountant's list? Okay, so the one was 5, 3, and 4. So I would have just said 5 times 4 times 3, and that will be in the combination that it can happen. Is that what you would have done as well, or would you have said it differently? So let's just see if we say 5, 4, 3, if order does not matter, why does that feel too many?
Hi, Jean.
Yes.
I think most probably, yeah, with the multiplication, it could be because when I do multiply the 5 by 3 by 4, I do get 60 with the
Okay.
combination. Yeah.
Okay, cool. And that's what you also wanted to do with that calculation nearly.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I'm now trying my calculator does not really want to do this. But yeah, I must say I don't always know how to use my calculator's function for that. Okay, so what that is how I would have done it, is to say the 5. So that's the first number of a combination. Um, then the 4, and then the 3, and if you multiply all of them together, you will get the 60. Okay, so that is how I would have done that one. Okay, but again, when I last tested the permutation combination, it also in Excel doesn't really work very nicely, but I also couldn't get it really right on my calculator as well. There is in your study guides, I will get the page number for you guys, and before I send on the presentation to the WhatsApp group, I will just add the number on the page number, so that you can have that as well, just to go and check how you would have worked it out. Okay, so now they tell us a bit differently, so let's just see if it's now going to be the other way around. Okay, suppose the investors decide to purchase shares in the stock of 2 aerospace companies, 2 energy development country, and 2. Okay, so 2 of each. 2, 2, 2. In how many ways can the investor select the group of 6 companies from the investment from the recommended list of 5 aerospace companies? 3, energy, and 4. So now it is 5, 3, and 4. Okay, so now there is permutation. So let's just see if I'm now, because now we need to basically do permutation. So it will be 5, 2, 4, 2, and 3, 2. Okay, so let's just quickly. Okay, so still not right. What was it? 423252. Yes, you're right. It's still combination because there's absolutely nowhere in the question where they say it needs to be order. Suppose we investor decide to purchase. In how many ways can we? Yes, still combinations. Nowhere in it does it say 5, 4, 3, and 2. Nowhere in there does it say what is for order. So it's for 5 and for 2, 4 and for 2, 3 and for 2, multiply by one another, and you get the 180. Okay, so very important. Nowhere did they mention any order. So in how many ways can we investors select a group of 6? So it's different if he said that first must be aerospace companies, then energy companies, and then um, 4 electronic companies. So 5 combination 2, 5 combination 2, 4 combination 2, and 3 combination 2. So that is, and then you multiply all of them. So perfect. It's exactly as in the chat. Okay, so very important. And what we also love to do, and I just assumed, because the previous one was combination, that the next one will be permutation, because that's just, you normally assume that the next question will be the other one. But in this instance, it wasn't. So just make 100% sure again, permutations and combinations about the wording, because it's so easy to nearly get yourself in the trap of thinking it is the one, but then it is still the other one. Okay, so now they ask us a bit of on dimensions. So Tabu's biology notebook is, I read it as 30 centimeter. We will see if there's an answer for that. 30 centimeter long, 20 centimeter wide. The dimensions of his desk are in a similar proportion as those of the notebook. If a desk is 90 centimeters wide, calculate the area of the top of the desk. Sure. Okay, so this is quite interesting one. So if that ratio is 50 to 20, also sneaky, because they say Tabu's biology notebook is 50 long, 20 wide. The dimensions of his desk are in similar proportion to those of his notebook. If a desk is 90 meters wide, the other one was 20, very easily one could have said 90 there, because then it's nice to just say 50 times 3 would have given us 90. But so 90 divided by 20 gives us 4.5. So 4.5 times 50. So the ratio is 135 to 90. So if a desk is 90 wide, calculate the area. Okay, so this again is the typical questions that I love to ask you guys. It's not an easy question. So 155 times 90 is 1215. So that area is 1 comma. Okay, there should have been commas, because that's meters, that's centimeters. So that needs to be commas. So 1,215 square meter. Okay, so two things where they wanted to catch you out on this one. Firstly, how long versus how wide. They tell us 30-20, but then they say it is 90 meters wide. So then the length must be longer than the 90. So 90 divided by 20 gives you 4.5. 4.5 times 30 will give us the 135. Okay, and then if you multiply the 90 times the 135, you get your area as 1,215 square meters. Hello, let's see what have I else included in here. So Tabo covers each corner of his desk with a square of cupboard as shown in a diagram below. Calculate the new perimeter of the visible part of the top of his desk. Huh? Okay, this is a weird question. So, okay, do we assume that now is 90 centimeter? That is 135 centimeter. Okay, do I want it to have all of that? Yeah, I'm a bit confused in what they give us. And so my answer would have been option 3. So let's just quickly check. So even if Raina said it should have looked something like this, and we needed to work out the perimeter. Okay, so look at, so that line plus that line plus that line would have been 135. So that perimeter would have been exactly the same. Let's look at perimeter, that line plus that line plus that line, again 135, so the perimeter would be the same. For that, plus that, plus that, so you see it's exactly the same as the 90 perimeter. Again, that plus that plus that also makes it the full 90. So 90 plus 90 is 180. 135 plus 135 is 270. 270. Wait, no, 270 plus 180, sorry. 270, 370, plus 80 gives you 450. Okay, it would have been way different if I ask us to work out area, because then you lose this area, that area, and that area. But if you want diameter, all of those is actually still taken into account. So that line would just have moved to there. That line would have just moved to there. So you still sit there with your straight 135. One, same here would have moved to there, moved to there. So here you sit also with a 135. That line would have moved into that space. That line would have moved into that space. So here you sit with 90, and then the same. That would have moved, that would have moved. Here again, you sit with a 90. Okay, so that is the perimeter that we would have calculated. Okay, now again, why is this exactly the same? So let me delete. It's exactly the same as the other one we did. Okay, so let's look at okay, so let's quickly, I just want to move it a bit up and make it bigger. And yeah, it's always printed exam papers, not the easiest ones to read. Okay, so a mixture contains 2 parts of substance A for every 5 parts of substance B. 2 parts of substance A for every 5 parts of substance B. If a total weight of a mixture is 50 kilograms, how much of substance B is in the mixture correct to 2 decimal places? Hmm. Yeah, this is an interesting one. I would probably then have said The mixture contains 2 parts of substance A for every 5 parts of substance B.
Hi, Jean.
Yes.
I don't know, but I just took a guess, but I didn't get as per like decimal type of answer.
Yeah.
But it was just a thing. So what I did, I took the 50 and
Yes.
I divided by the 5 parts and times that by the 2 parts of substance, which gave me a total of 20.
Okay. Okay, so yeah, so let's quickly, so that's one. I would also have said 2 parts versus 5 parts, so you're sitting with 7 parts, so I'm looking more at 50 divided by the 7, which gives, if I work it now out right, 7,1429, and then determine how much of mixture B is in the mixture. Okay, but then I would have said multiply by 2 parts A, 5 parts B, so I would have then multiply that by 5 to get 35,71. Determine how much of substance B is in the mixture. 2 parts of substance A for every 5 parts of substance B. So is it this way around or is it the other way around? And even if you get the you wanted to say the 50 divided by 5 times 2 is the 20, and what's left also is then 50 minus 20 gives you the 50, but I would have done it 2 parts to 5 parts, so it's 7 in total. And then I would have said, okay, we want to get to that component, so that is we could have said 5/7 times 50 should give me also that. So 5 divided by 7 times 50 will also give me that, where this then is 2 divided by 7 times 50. Okay, so probably easier to look at that way. 2 portions, 5 portions, so in total there's 7 portions. Because there's 7 portions, one component is 2/7, and the other one is 5/7. So that is probably a bit easier to look at it. Okay. And again, for some of you, they can ask you, because we know the questions is a bit random. For some of you, they can ask the two out of a 7. For other, they can ask a 5 out of a 7. Okay, and both answers is there. So if you also nearly quickly want to do it and say, oh, 2 divided, flip, it is as well. Okay, so again, they nearly make it that you nearly can pick any of those questions. Okay, so let's see if we can make this also. So what I am doing, so in the next few sessions as we prep, I'm just going through old exam papers. I'm just putting in examples of old exam papers. So if you guys have questions that you are going through that you struggle with, or a previous exam paper, or if there's somewhere under the additional resources papers that you want to send to me that we need to work out, or any of your previous assignments or mock exam that you had access to, please send to me so that I can add that into a presentation, and we can work through some of the questions. Okay, let's see. A company total profit in rands from producing and selling X units of its product is given by this. How many units of a product must the company produce in order to maximize its profits? Okay, so what must happen if you need to maximize the profits? What are you going to do to maximize the profit? How are you gonna work that out? Okay, so total profit. So this function, it's negative. So this function looks something like this. Let's see. It's negative. So probably something like that. That might even be cutting down somewhere here as well. And you need to work out that turning point. Okay, so you can work out that turning point. So let's do it one way, the minus b over 2a, and let's just see what we get. Minus b is equal to minus 300 over 2a. What's that? 2 times minus 0,04. Okay, so let's look what that gives us. 300 divided by 0.04 gives us 7500. Okay, so that is one way of getting to the number, was to say, okay, turning point. At the turning point, remember minus b over 2a. But there's another way of doing it, and that was part of your last last study unit, it will give us exactly the same answer, is to say, but we need to differentiate that. So let's differentiate that. Minus 0.02 times 2, remember that goes in front. So it is 0.04x is equal to 300x 1 minus 1, so that will fall away. Sorry, not. Minus, when we differentiate a constant, the constant will disappear. So when we maximize, that must be equal to 0. So minus 0, sorry, that's a plus. Minus 0.04x will be equal to minus 300. And look at what we're getting, exactly the same. X is minus 300 divided by 0.04. Okay, so to work out that turning point of minus b over 2a is exactly the same as to say, well, let's differentiate that formula and we get the answer. Okay, so either or you could have used to work out that question. And again, remember, you guys are writing multiple choice. You just need to get to the correct answer. There's no other piece of paper that you hand in. There's no your rough work or how you worked it out that you need to hand in. So if you use minus b over 2a, if you use this, as long as you get to the right answer. Okay, last two questions.
Hello, hello.
Yes.
Sorry to interject. Regarding question 18, I'm a bit confused why we use the turning point formula. Eh,
Okay, so
yeah. How would I know that I have to use the turning point formula?
so it's because they say
Minimum
maximize.
or maximize. Okay.
So if it was because that formula was minus x squared, we know that it's nearly going down. So then wherever you're looking for the maximum point, it will be at the turning point. That is where the maximum point will be. All the other points of here will be smaller. So when it's negative in front of your x square, it basically means that the arms go down, you will have a maximum point. If it was plus x squared, then their words would have been how many units in order to minimize its products, because then the arms is going to go up, still at the turning point. That is going to be the smallest number. All the other numbers as you go up will be more. So that's why basically you're working out, in this instance, the minimum point, and in that instance, you're working out the maximum point. Okay, so that is nearly, so maximum point or minimum point is always at the turning point of that formula or that graph. Does that make a bit more sense?
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
Cool. No problem at all. I'll search for a few more of these questions that we can include that in the next few sessions that we will also do. So again, there is still a few sessions after tonight. So the next one is Wednesday, and then next week, Monday and Tuesday as well. So let's see if we can at least make out what stands here. The average cost function in rands for a product is given by 1 over 4x plus 4 plus 100 over x, where x represents the number of units produced. How many product units will result in a minimum average cost per hour? Okay, so bit different because now we can't just say minus b over 2a, because let's first write out this formula and then let's see how it is. So that one is, or maybe we can. So that one is a quarter plus 4, but this is 100x minus 1. Okay, so that does not look like the formula that we have worked with previously. So this is not a quadratic formula. This is something much weirder. So unfortunately for this one, let's see if we actually, A would have been 100. No, so okay, so we can't use that formula because it's not a quadratic function. You can see there's a minus 1, there's a plus 1, so this is not going to work out that easily. I hope that's a x and that we are not assuming. Oh, I'm now worried about what that actually is. Okay, so let's. Oh, I am now worried what that is. So because what we would have done now is to differentiate. So let's. Okay, so let's differentiate, but this is, I'm really worried about what that is. So let's, if we differentiate, that goes in front. So minus 100 times minus 1 is minus 100, x minus 1 minus 1 plus a quarter x1 minus 1. So that will fall away. That will fall away. So that will be equal to 0. So minus 100 x to the power of minus 2. So this that must be equal to 1 over 4. Okay, this doesn't really work out very nicely, but let's quickly see. So let's divide on both sides with 100. Okay, so wait, that is on that side. So let's divide with minus 100. There should be an easy way to do this. Is equal to a quarter minus 100 is 1 over 400. Okay. Can we take the square root of that? So in actual fact, what we're getting to, and I hate this one, is that x is equal to 20. 20 to the power of minus 2 is 1 divided by 400. I think somewhere here, some of these things should have been written clearer. So that is how I got to that answer, that x to the power of minus 2 is equal to 1 over 400. 1 over 400 is, so let's just quickly write it here in the corner. 1 over 400 is actually 1 over 20 to the power of 2. And this would have been rewritten as 1 over x to the power of 2. So then we can say 20 is equal to x. Yuck, but this doesn't even make sense to have a formula like this to work it out. Yes, Kanye.
Jen, I'm a bit confused now. You lost me there because I was with you till the part of the 1 over 400 because I also got the same on the calculator. And then you just lost me then after the x to the power of 2 equals to 20.
So let's quickly do this. So and I'm just from there, let's just, okay, so x to the power of 2, because we're gonna divide on both sides, we divide with minus 100. So x to the power of minus 2 is equal to 1 over 400. So I can rewrite the x minus 2 as 1 over x to the power of 2. And that is equal to 1 over 400. But how do I get to 400? 20 to the power of 2 gives me 400. So 20 times 20 gives me 400. So I can then say, well, 1 over 20 to the power of 2 is the same as 1 over x to the power of 2. So one can actually say x to the power of 2 will give you 20 to the power of 2. Because those are both to the power of 2, x is equal to 20. Okay, does that make a bit more sense?
Okay, Jen, so Where would yeah, it does make a bit more sense. But now when I'm seeing here, so where we are at my negative 100 x minus 2, right? We divide by minus 100, right?
Yes.
Or is it 100, a positive 100?
So negative 100 divided by negative quarter will give you a positive. So remember, negative divided by a negative gives you a positive.
Uh,
So it's the same. Negative
okay,
time,
all right.
negative times a negative will give you a positive. The same, a negative divided by a negative will also give you a positive. Okay, does that help a bit?
Yes, yes, it does help. All right, thank
Okay,
you.
okay, but this one, I'm marking this question. I'm gonna look for more of them with, where was that other one? This. So question 18 and 19, I'm marking just that I get you more of those ones. Because now what they ask us in question 20 is we must just basically replace x by 25. Okay, so so at least it didn't make if you made a mistake with question 19, in this one, it did not influence negatively your question 20. So that is at least for me great in the sense of that you don't get double penalized because the previous one you might have gotten wrong. So in question 20, all that they ask is you've got that formula and you need to replace the x by 25. So the x you need to replace by 25. So you would have a quarter times 25 plus 4, which is that one, plus 100 divided by 25. So you would just replace all the x's with 25, and then your answer is 0.5 times 25 is 12.5 plus 4 plus 4. Okay, but wait, let's, oh, so they didn't even, okay, sorry, not point, so 0.25 times 25, sorry, that is 6.5. Okay, so 6.5 plus that plus that. So yes, that is close to 14.25. But what do they ask us? Choose the statement that gives a practical interpretation of this. The marginal cost of producing 25 units is 14.25. The average cost of producing 25 units is 14.25. The total cost, the fixed cost. Okay, so what do they tell us in this formula? The average cost function in rands for a product is given by that. Okay, so if you replace the 25 in X and you get the 14,25, so actually it would have been 14.5, but that's fine. What is it? So it's not the fixed cost. It is definitely not the total cost. So is it the average cost or the marginal cost? So what would you guys have said by them telling us the average cost function for a product is given by that? If we put 25 in and we get an answer of 14,25, does that tell us the marginal cost of producing 25 units is that? Or does it tell us the average cost of producing 25 units is that? What would you have said? If this was an exam question, what would you guys have gone for? Okay. So I would have also gone for the average. Not just because they say it to us there, but to get to the marginal cost, we would have needed to differentiate. And we did not differentiate that function. So if it looked like this, where it says we differentiate the function and then we put 25 in, then it would have been marginal cost. But at the moment, we're only looking there at average cost. So the correct answer is option 2 because it is the average cost that we're looking at. Okay. Okay, everyone. So what I will do, I will share the presentation on the WhatsApp group. I will share the recording in about an hour's time. Just want to see if any other students join. I've seen that a few students have joined since tonight, so I will just add all the presentation, and the recording. And what I'm also going to add for you guys is my YouTube channel that you can also go and look at previous QMI sessions from earlier the year, but also from last year. So if you want to also look at previous examples and things like that, you can so long prep with that as well. Okay, so I am going to include the link to the YouTube channel that you guys can just get access to that as well. Okay, so thank you for joining, everyone. And then we will see again Wednesday night. It will be the same time, 5:30. So we will see on Wednesday again. Okay, cheers, everyone, and have a good evening. And if you have questions that